White light of conditional love. Yeah, conditions apply because it's on one side of polarity. You know how before I said it's waveform? Okay, that's Michael and Lucifer. And that's, you know, from here down is this side. Because you can get the universe too, and you could draw it a different way. So you draw it like that, if you wanted to, and draw that like that. And then you have your waveforms up here, and you have the Christed energy up here. Up here, the spectrum's like this. The frequency's really, 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 really fast, right? And as you get further down to here, the waveform is slower and more dense. Okay, so on this side you could say is Lucifer, and you can have Michael up here if you like. Or the other way around, doesn't matter. Both spectrums together, unified as one, is what unconditional love is. That's the golden light. Yes. Because we are a fractal of the universe, we are universal embodiment here. So what's important to understand, inside each and every one of you have access, alright, and are gaining more and more access all the time. You have within you all the darkness of all the evil that exists in the universe is inside of you, and all the white love exists inside of you as well. Okay? Each and every one of us have that within us. And it's how we choose to use that energy, how we choose to express ourselves with that energy. That's the important thing. This is what we're learning here. But the grand question is, who are we? Where do we all come from? The answer is quite simple, really, at the end of the day, is you are here in the third dimension, and when you get to the seventh dimension and below, there's physical reality. Beyond the seventh, you start to lose physical form and you go into more energy type of ways of existence. Where we come from is in another dimension, like the fourth or the fifth, on another planet, in another star system, and we've incarnated here, down into planet Earth, into the third dimension here, because what we are trying to do here, or not what we are trying to do, what we are achieving here is a universal embodiment, where any being on any level of reality can incarnate to one place. Any being that feels they have disconnected themselves or detached themselves from God can then incarnate and go through the life's experiences required to learn what it means to be in the image of God. A humane being. A being of compassion, of love, of understanding, of caring, all those qualities that make up and constitute a humane being. And once you do that, you get that understanding, that mindset back. Then you know you are at one with creation and you are no longer separate. You're no longer this small embodiment here existing in this reality and everything is out there. The understanding comes through that you are here, and yes, all you people are out there, but I'm all one with you. I'm a part of you. The same energy that runs through my atoms is the same energy that runs through your atoms. Therefore we're all connected intimately at the core level. We're all the same, totally equal, all one. And that's what the big myth is. Who are we? Where do we come from? What are we doing here? As long as you have personal identity, you have ego. The moment you make the decision with intent to no longer exist at all, totally not exist at all anymore, you then relinquish yourself back to the source, that core energy that lies behind everything, and you are completely dissolved and you no longer exist at all. You cease to exist. And that your energy will then go back into the source, and then something else will form, but you will no longer exist. So it's a big call, it's a big sacrifice to do that. Okay? Very, very few beings do that. You've got to be very evolved to wish to not exist anymore. And we're not talking about dying. When you die, you still exist. I mean, it's just a genetic spacesuit to occupy this reality. So We're talking about your soul no longer existing, beyond that level. Yeah. It's like, samsara, if you take a drop of water and you take it and you drop it in the middle of the ocean, that water has lost its individual identity and then becomes part of the vast ocean. And that's the same, you'll become part of the vast ocean of energy. Yeah, you're totally gone on all levels of your existence. You are totally ceased to exist. You will never exist again. The source, the almighty source in there will then use your energy for something else, and you will no longer exist. Okay, so this is the universe. This is what we know as creation. When you read books and it talks about all the dimensional levels, this is what refers to as creation. Okay, now we're going to go to the next step. So this is the basic structure of our universe. Like I said, I've taken it and I've just expanded it out to let you understand that it's categorised now. Just quickly, within each dimensional level, there is an infinite amount of overtones. It's a labyrinth within each one. Okay, we have all these parallel realities really closely aligned with one another. Alright? That's why you talk about the upper astral, the lower astral. What we refer to as the fourth dimension, which is this little spectrum here. Okay, we'll refer to that as the fourth. Okay, you have the lower astral, the upper astral. The people like Mr. Edwards, who does his crossing over talks, he talks to people just here, just on the lower bottom of the fourth. Okay, because that's people who have just passed over and are still very close to this reality and haven't come to terms with actually going beyond that realm yet. They're caught in what's called the lower astral energies. Alright, so that's who they're talking to, just outside this reality in these areas here. Creation is big. It is really big, it is really vast. The life that exists beyond this one is enormous. It's more vast than you can really comprehend, and I'm just talking about this, our universe now. What happens is any being that is beyond your reality, whether you're in the 8th and you're talking to someone in the 9th, for example, they will always present themselves to you with what you're comfortable with. They already know you intimately, okay, because they work with energy, and like your energy signature says so much about you, okay, and if they give you a name, that's what you're comfortable with, and that's why you've got some books. You can read different books and they all say different things about the same subject. For example, you can get information on the Council of Nine and you get all different scenarios happening with different authors. A lot of it overlaps and is true, and then you just got little differences. Well, it's their individual perception and it's how it's been presented to them, and yeah. How we have guides, an example, there's beings, each individual incarnation here on earth has an entourage around them, so to speak, okay? They monitor you all the time, this entourage. It's a very complicated thing. An incarnation here is not so straightforward and simple. There's a lot of work and preparation that goes into everyone incarnating here in this reality. And so therefore your entourage will present to you information which they know at the time emotionally, mentally, spiritually where you're at, because if they present you with something that mentally you're not ready with, you're going to freak out. Emotionally you're not ready with, you're going to break down. And that's, yeah, everything gets monitored quite closely and gets presented to you when, at your appropriate level when you're ready. And this is something that I've been working with myself, and, why don't I get this any sooner, and why I'm so frustrated, and, I'm learning patience. Because we'd all like to evolve so quickly, and my goodness, I just went through shingles and all sorts of things because I asked for it. I said I want to metamorphosize quicker, so I did. That's it, yeah.